Is it a struggle? Yes, we have to realize our strengths and our weaknesses. Hi, and welcome to Why Not? And I'm your host, Janice, helping others to reach their goals. And today we have a great entertaining topic. Our topic is entertaining during COVID. And I have the IPW Chicagoland champion wrestler for the last 628 days, Joey Roth. Hello and welcome.
Listen to that. You know what, Janice? I think I'm going to have to bring you to every single show I do and introduce me, because you could show these ring announcers a thing or two. That right there is perhaps the greatest introduction I've had today.
Cool. Thank you.
How you doing, sweetie?
Fine. I just love having you on the show, and I love seeing you wrestle. How have you been? How are things going nowadays? This with COVID, you can't really wrestle, I would think. What's going on in the wrestling industry and with you?
Well, you see, Janice, this COVID is probably the biggest opponent that anybody in entertainment, not only wrestling, has to deal with. This is one of the biggest fights we've ever had. A lot of our shows have been canceled. A lot of our shows have been postponed, depending on what area you are in. I've been lucky enough. I wrestle for a bunch of different organizations, and I manage, I commentate. I'm a manager for POW Entertainment Wrestling, which we're allowed to run shows in Wisconsin. But it's kind of funny. You have that border of Illinois and Wisconsin right here. You go on one side, you're allowed to do shows with limited access, limited amount of people. But if you cross the street, you can't do any shows because you just cross into a different state. But I have been performing almost every month at different organizations. It's just, you got to keep the social distancing. You got to keep the masks on. But it's difficult for a ton of other feds out there that can't do it. So there are feds that have actually gone out of business. When I say feds, I mean wrestling companies, as well as theaters and everything else that have gone out of business because of this pandemic. And yeah, it's not fun. It has put a lot of people out of work, and a lot of people searching for different things to do.
Right, definitely. I would think the crowds would even be limited coming to any of the shows. I know even like the acting, you can't do that. Even the movie theaters, you can't even release new movies because no one's going to the movie theaters.
Movie theaters are closed. I took a family friend to a theater, was it last month? And we just wanted to go to the movies. That's when the theaters were open. And other than me and my friend, there was only like 3 other people into the theater. And you're talking about a theater that has like 27, you know how big these big theaters are. They have like 27 screens and all that. You could count on 2 hands how many people were walking around, not including the employees. But yeah, it's very difficult out there. And the fans that are coming to our wrestling shows, we do keep them 6 feet away from each other. They do wear masks. There's social distancing. There's hand sanitizer and everything. Excuse me. But you're going from where my shows usually draw 500 to 1,000 people. Right. You're bringing in less than 50, because that's, depending on what the building could hold, and you got to keep them all 6 feet away from each other. So you're going from a huge audience to small amount of people. And people are scared to come out as well too. I mean, if we were able to have 500 people in an arena or something like that, I don't think they're going to have all these people come, because everybody is really scared about what's going to happen, and I think they have every right to be.
Right.
But make sure we take all the precautions we possibly can.
Okay. Well, it's just like everyone's been concerned about restaurants, which is very important. Like restaurants are going out of business, small stores are going out of business. But a lot of people don't even talk about the entertainment or the sporting. I mean, I know now we can't even see the Bears in the stadium. Okay.
That's probably a good thing.
Might not be a good thing.
That's probably a good thing. But still, no, you're right. I mean, I know some stadiums, like in Florida, they allow capacity at a couple of percent or something like that. But look at Soldier Field. How many people could fit in Soldier Field? 40,000 people, probably. And now when the Bears try to play, they have nobody. And that's just what people don't understand. The football players, they're still going to get paid money, but you're going to talk about like the minor league baseball teams. You know, the minor league baseball team fits what 5,000 in a stadium. They
Right.
have nobody as well, so they're taking huge hits. Wrestling companies are taking huge hits.
Right.
Theaters, because I'm an actor as well, I do a lot of plays and everything. That is taking the biggest hit, and yeah, people are going, okay, yeah, well, you know, actors on stage, but what the actors on stage give you an escape from the lives you live in. I
Right.
mean, some people might, you know, want to go and like go to a movie and lose themselves on the screen.
Mhm.
You can't have that anymore because of all this. And quite frankly, I see a lot of movie theaters and a lot of movie companies that are going to be going out of business due to something like this.
Right. I think I was reading something like I know all the Regal cinemas either closed temporarily or closed permanently, something like that. But I know they've been closed for the longest. I know AMC was saying that they could barely hold on. So it's like even the little company, and that's the big companies that get the big bucks.
Right.
What about the little theaters? I think there's a Noble Theater in Chicago. There's a lot of those little places that they can't
Music
hold
box. You have the Music Box Theater, which is one of my favorite theaters to go
on.
to for a lot of, you know, cult films and a lot of obscure films and a lot of documentaries and stuff like that. That theater's been around, gosh, for how long? And now they can't do it. So
Mhm.
they could be streaming things on TV, but it's not the same thing. I mean, yeah, we could sit at home and watch Netflix, but there's something about going to the movies. There's
Mhm.
something about going to a wrestling show or even a basketball or hockey or whatever like that. There's something about going to live theater that
Mhm.
just immerses you and puts you into the moment of everything like that. And
Right.
unfortunately, with this pandemic, it's taking that away from everybody. And it's just sad all around. When you go downtown, you pass all these, not like we have big theater for acting theaters, but there's a lot of mom and pop shop theaters a lot of people don't know about that
Right.
are all over Chicago, and they're all closing down because they can't have an audience. Some of these places only fit 30 people. I mean, you're
Right.
basically talking about an apartment that's a theater. And
Right.
these places are all going out of business because they can't have anybody in it. And I know people are going, okay, that's just a small theater, but everybody starts somewhere. You just never know. The person you see performing in front of 30 people in an apartment building might be the person you're going to see on the silver screen next year. So,
Right.
and just a lot of talent and a lot of hardworking people who are just so passionate about making other people happy that are not able to do it, no matter if you have to pay to be on stage, like other people I know, or other people who just want to go out there and act. I mean, I love acting. It's my favorite thing. And to be not to be able to go on stage, not to be able to go on stage and give a performance to make somebody smile like you're smiling right now, or somebody hate me because I am the bad guy wrestler or anything like that. Then not to be able to do that, it stinks. I mean, it stinks
Right.
a lot.
And like you said, you had mentioned even the like the AAA, AA, those type leagues,
Yeah,
most of those players, that is their job too, and they're not able to do it. And people enjoy going to those. I mean, I'm one of them that I like seeing
me too.
those leagues because one, the seats are cheaper, they're closer, you have more of a homegrown type feeling that you feel warm
The
for the
family,
players are, they're people you can actually, in a sense, like touch. You can speak to them, you could shake their hand. They're from the neighborhoods.
right?
It's not like the big celebrities that you're just a person in the crowd, you know, and they are out of work. I think the little league, not little league, but those baseball teams have not played on Kane County and Illinois
Cougars.
as their own one, and they have not been out there. The Cougars, and I used to always see them, and they have not had a game at all this season. So that was a shame for baseball, and even with high
I was
school,
going to say, you mentioned Little League. Even Little League
yeah,
are not able to do this. And you're talking about kids who should get out there and be exercising, the kids who should get out there to develop them when they grow older to be, good adults with discipline and able to problem solve and stuff like that. You're taking that away
cooperation.
from these children
Mhm.
who can't do something like that. So what are they are? What are they doing right now? They're stuck at home. Yeah,
Playing a video game.
they're stuck at home looking at the little computer screens like I'm looking at right now, and they are not getting the social interaction that they need to make them functioning adults.
Right.
Okay. They're not getting the stimulant to being talking to their friends. Yeah, they could talk to their friends on text and everything like that, but
Right.
that's not the same as going to the school gym, shooting some basketball hoops and hanging out with your friends, or having a reading group or a prayer group or anything like that. So all this trickles down to the children. That's taken away just the greatest thing about being a kid.
Right.
You know, I mean, the greatest thing about being a kid is getting out there and going playing. Of course, you know, some kids don't want to go out and play. You got to give them a kick in the butt to get them out there. But, you know, at least they have the option. But nowadays, they can't do Little League. They can't do floor hockey or gymnastics or prayer groups or acting or anything like that. So when we talk about entertainment in the pandemic, we're not just talking about the overpriced paid guys you see on television. We're talking about the minor people. We're talking people like myself who just can't get out there and express ourselves, whether it's in the wrestling ring or on a stage or, you know, twirling the ribbons or anything like that. So it's honestly taking a huge hit to everybody not to be able to do stuff like this.
Right. Taken away from
I'm a bad guy, but I'm a villain. My shirt says I'm a villain, but I want everybody out there to get out there and have some fun, you know? And I want everybody out there to go out there and express themselves, because that's what this country's all about. That's what being a human's all about, getting out there and express yourself in a proper way. So it just hurts it just sucks going out there and not being, going outside and not seeing, you know, people freezing their butts off playing football.
Right. Yes, absolutely. You know, missing the arts. And even with the kids, I'm a teacher. We used to bring some kids to the arts, but we would have to go to the cheaper places or the community art centers for the kids to see the plays. We can't afford to go send them to the big Broadway shows downtown. And
Right.
they're missing out on that, you know, which is a shame. And I just want to say that, yeah, it was funny with you being a villain, because originally I did not know that. And I don't know why I didn't pick it up that you were a
The
villain.
shirt says.
I know. And I know I came to
Oh,
one of
bad,
your
baby.
shows before, and there was a little kid. And I got my sign, and this little kid is like, "Boo, boo," because you're a villain. And I'm like, "Wait, I got a sign. Is that okay?" I mean, I'm afraid this little 6-year-old was gonna hurt me for, you know, cheering for the villain.
But see, but that's the thing with this stuff that's going on. That 6-year-old can't sit there and throw things at me. That
No.
6-year-old can't sit there and cheer the person that I'm fighting against, or cheer, you know, their favorite. Or, you know, you got some kid who's like down on their luck, and they see somebody who speaks to them emotionally and stuff like that. They don't have that. So, I mean, I feel sorry for that 6-year-old, and I feel sorry for all the people who can't just express everything that we do and everything like that.
Right. Now, I had you a couple years ago. Actually, it was last year in 2019. I want to thank you for
Oh, yeah.
more. You came to we did a youth group in the south suburbs of Chicago, and you came to talk to my youth group that I had for that
Yes.
summer about bullying. Can you
Yes.
tell me, even though you're a villain, where does
Mhm.
bullying come in there?
Well, the only people I bully are in the ring, and those people deserve it because they're, you know, trying to get my title belt. But, you know, you remember what I told those kids, and I love those kids, and I love the party we had afterwards, just to be able to have everybody hold the belt. And I had the pictures on my phone right now, and I do look at them from time to time. You know, as the big bad guy wrestler that I am, I still get bullied all the time.
Mhm.
You know, of course, cyberbully.
Yeah.
I don't get bullied face to face because people who usually bully are cowards.
Right.
Okay. So I get cyberbullied all the time. There's people out there on Facebook and on Twitter and on different message boards who rip me to shreds.
Wow.
Seriously. There's people out there who rip my fiance to shreds. There's
Mm.
people out, I mean, and when I say they are bullying, I can't say the words what they say about me. They
Wow.
call me a fake, a fraud, a phony,
Mm.
untrained, blah blah. Bunch of lies, obviously.
Yeah.
Because I wouldn't be I wouldn't be where I am today. You know, I'm part of a
628 days
wrestling
to champ.
right. 600. You know, the title. This aside, I mean, I'm a part of this wrestling company called Chicagoland Championship Wrestling, right? We just had a pay-per-view on Amazon Prime. You could go on Amazon Prime all over the world and I do commentary for this, for Chicagoland Championship Wrestling out of Indiana. You could go on Amazon Prime and see us right now. You could go on Fight TV. We just signed a contract with this Lucha Libre company in Mexico. We're in England. We're all over the place. All right. And these guys go on Facebook going, oh, that's, you know, it basically comes down to jealousy and stuff like that. So they're going to go ahead and say whatever they can about myself and other people as well to make themselves feel better. So, and that's what a bully does. The bully picks on other people to make themselves feel better because they are missing something at home, or maybe not. Inside themselves, they're missing something.
Inside themselves, right.
If it's in their heart, in their head, in their soul, whatever, they are missing something. So to make themselves feel better, they want to rip somebody else down who might be just, you know, doing things that they wish they could always do. I mean, we all do that. You see somebody in a nice car going, oh man, I wish I had that car. What do they do for a living, you know?
Right.
And then you got to catch yourself. And that's a form of bullying as well. You know, I mean, people are bullied and not even know about it. And then it's just, but yeah, it's just, I hate bullies, man. I hate bullies so much. You know, I mean, I'll be a good guy when it comes to that. I will face a bully head on, face to face. But the thing is, like I said, a bully's a coward. They won't face you face to face. They want to stand behind a computer screen, which is now, come on, that's the only way they could do it nowadays. Yeah. Do you remember what I told the kids? I mean, you can't listen to anybody out there. You got to just listen to your heart, listen to God, listen to your parents, listen to yourself more than anything, and just got to recognize what a bully truly is. Don't hate them, feel sorry for them, because they're missing something in their life that maybe, you know, maybe you could give that to them. I mean, but we're pretty much the same age. Remember in grade school, how did we take care of bullies back then? You had a playground fight. Right. You punch somebody in the head, they punch you in the head, and next thing you know, you become best friends. Right. I've had that happen before. But nowadays on cyber thing, I could be bullied by somebody in California, and you know, I'm here sitting in Chicago. How are you gonna rectify something like that? So it's just unbelievable what bullies could do nowadays. But you just got to keep on believing in yourself and know that bully, you know, there's something missing in their lives, and hopefully one of these days they find it and realize the error of their ways.
Oh, absolutely. And that's, yeah, it was different when we were kids. If nothing else, we were actually there. We could talk it out afterwards. Even if we did have a fight, we could talk it out afterwards, or the teacher would talk with us. But now you have these kids online and there's no repercussions, or it's out there. And it's not just the people on the playground sees it. It's everyone could be anywhere around the world could see it. The bullying. Yeah, it's just devastating.
You know, you could go on a mass text and you could pick on someone on mass text and the whole entire 6th grade sees it. Right. Or you could go on the little chat rooms they have on something like that, and like that Facebook, you put one thing on there, the whole world sees it.
Right.
You know, and
go from 5 likes or hits to next thing you know, you got 1,000 or 2,000, and kids can't handle that.
And then you have other bullies who want to go ahead and join the crowd to have people try to further the bullying, so those bullies will like them because they hunger for that gratification and some kind of recognition, but they're not looking at it that they're getting the wrong kind of recognition. I mean, yeah, you could bully, but instead of bullying, why don't you just say something nice once in a while? You know, it's just like, come on, it's not that hard. This coming from the villain.
Coming from a villain. Yeah.
Right?
Yes. Yeah, I really appreciate you coming to talk to the kids about that. What about a little bit about how your acting's going right now? How's the acting field? Because I know your fiance, beautiful woman.
Roxy Hart.
Yes. And she is doing a play right now, but you said they have to wear a mask.
Yes.
So
she was
down to that?
She was just cast in a play. It's going to be in the Riverfront Playhouse in Aurora. And they're going to film it, and then they're going to put it online. So you're not going to be able to go to the audience, but they're going to be on stage in character wearing a mask.
Wow. Okay.
So you're not going to get see. And the thing is, when you go to theater, you want to see the facial expressions. You want to see them smile. But when you go like this, what are you going to see? Just eyes moving around like that. So she's going to have to do that.
Creepy.
Right? It's scary.
Mm.
So she's going to be doing a play while wearing a mask.
Wow.
But now what we also do is we're doing this thing called Zooming at the movies, like how we're talking on Zoom right now.
Right.
And tomorrow at Zooming at the movies, we're going to be doing How the Grinch Stole Christmas, the Jim Carrey movie. It's kind of so there's a whole bunch of actors, and we're just going to be reading the script on Zoom. So, which unfortunately it's fun because it gives us something to do. It gives us to be kind of creative. I mean, we could be our own character. But basically, I'm sitting here like this, and we're just going to read the script to people.
Wow.
So, which is I like and I don't like it. I like it, like I said, because it's going to give us a chance to be expression. It's going to give us a chance to go out there and actually perform and entertain people. But we're just not going to have people with us to do it. So I'm doing that as well. My theater, I kind of like slow down.
And I'm sorry to interrupt you, but how's that even going to affect acting or even wrestling if you don't have that, yay, the crowd behind you or the people just at the edge of their seat, like, I need more. You don't have that. Don't you need that to feed into your performance?
You need the audience to feed off of, because then how do you know in wrestling, if I'm sitting and I poke someone in the eyes, I don't hear anything. It's like, well, do people not like that? I mean, do people want me to do it? I mean, I love hearing the boos. And, when I pin somebody, I had to pull their tights, to get the leverage, which I've never cheated ever. I've never cheated ever whatsoever. But no, you're right. You do need that audience participation. You need that when you go out on stage. You take a glance and you see all the people that are there, because you hear the applause. When you're doing something that you know when you're doing something good. You want to hear the boos. You want to hear the criticism, because you just want people to have emotion. You miss emotion on everything, and emotion is the greatest thing that we have. I mean, without emotion, what are we?
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, we need emotion, and that's what this pandemic has taken away from us. It's taken everybody's emotion away, and it's taken so much from so many different people. And hopefully, God willing, this time next year we could actually do this face to face.
Right. Yes, that would be nice. Now,
so I can go back and talk to the kids.
How's your faith during all this? I mean, is God still telling you this is where I want you at, Mr. Roth?
I personally think God's telling, he's helping other people right now that need it a lot more than I do. My life is fabulous. Okay. I still do wrestling shows here and there. I'm engaged. I get to talk to beautiful people like you. I'm great. I pray every night and everything. I don't pray for myself. I pray for everybody else. I'm like, hey, give them a little bit of what I've got. Give them everything. Give me all their pain, so everybody else can be happy out there. I know, not a real villain thing to say, but I just keep on doing the right thing. Just got to keep on doing the right thing, and and let God work on the people who definitely need it. The sick and the frontline guys and girls and everything like that. So yeah, I'm just being me.
Which is also kind of sad too, with the arts and entertainment going way down, because people that are on the front line, the essential workers, they don't even have an outlet. My daughter's a nurse. Is like, she's used to going to the movies and going out for things, and it's like she's isolated at home when she comes home from work now.
Right, because when you're a nurse or when you're a doctor or a police officer, and I know police officer is not a nice word to say these days, and ladies and gentlemen, please believe me, for every one, there's a million that are great. When they get that uniform off, or they get those scrubs off, and they take that first step outside that building, they want to forget about everything they've just seen. Right. So they want to go to a restaurant, they want to have a drink, they want to go to the library, they want to go to the museum, they want to go to the zoo, they want to go movies or wrestling or whatever. Now they don't have it. So what are they left with? they leave work and they bring work home with them, and that takes away their mental. I mean, that just chips away at their mental stability. And I can't. I don't want to see 5 years from now how everybody's going to be with all this stress and pressure. I mean, it's not going to be good.
Yeah, absolutely, definitely, because we still need to laugh. We still need to
Yeah.
have entertainment. I mean, we still have the serious things in life, but
Oh
laughter
gosh,
is
yes.
important, entertainment is important, releasing energy is important. And when you go and see a wrestling and have a 6-year-old yelling and screaming just as bad as you are next to you, you need that.
I need that. You know, the thing is, I mean, I can only go to my fiance Roxy and do some heelish promo, pull her hair here and there, and for having her yell at me and stuff like that, or give the garbage guy what for when he's out. But yeah, you need that. You need that social interaction, and without it, it's definitely hurting everybody. But God willing, sooner or later, it's all gonna be back to the way it used to be.
Right. Well, we only got a few more minutes.
Goes
Touch on
right fast.
wrestling. Yeah, it goes really fast, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Almost, just like a match.
Right.
Are they using masks when they're wrestling? What are they doing?
They are not using masks when they're wrestling, but when we are in the dressing room, everything, we are 6 feet away. The audience are wearing masks, and everybody is COVID tested before shows. So you do have to show a negative test before you get out there. We're not going to let anybody who's been, or just like when you go anywhere else, everybody's got to show the negative test and everything like that. So it's very well taken care of. And when we're all done wrestling, we go in the back and just take a bath in hand sanitizer.
Oh. Yes, definitely. Yeah, I really did enjoy seeing the wrestling. I was actually shocked that wrestling was still so big nowadays, or coming back at least.
Well, hopefully in April 17th, Chicagoland Championship Wrestling, we're having our next TV taping in Michigan City, Indiana. You can follow me on Facebook under the main event Villain, and you'll be able to see everything. It's going to be a TV taping. So I hope, I tell you what, I will buy you 2 tickets, and you will be front row right there as my special guest. You got 2 tickets on me if you want to come. So April 17th. So it'll be a TV taping, and Chicagoland Championship Wrestling's taking over the world.
Okay, and I do appreciate you coming on the show, and hopefully COVID and the numbers will be down, and more people will be able to go out, and entertainment can go back to where it used to be, or getting close back to it at least.
Sooner or later.
Sooner or later, hopefully soon. Well, this topic was entertaining during the COVID, and I have a wonderful guest that was here. Thank you very much. Joey Roth, IPW Chicagoland Champion Wrestler. Woo! 628 days. Thanks for watching. This is Why Not? Host Janice Newman. Like us on Facebook and YouTube, and see you next time. Bye-bye.